Like Purdue, it's just an example. Purdue losing to Fresno State is okay. We still win the Big Ten West. For me,
Billy Napier gets fired. I'm just kidding.
hey, really the best time of the year. I will be seated watching the Red Zone for 7 hours on Sunday. What's going on, everyone? And welcome back to a new episode of Backyard Banter. Tanner, James, Johnny, another electric weekend of all sports because it's the best sports time of the year. We're going to start like we usually do with college football, and I'm going to start with the nightcap. 2 games going on at the same time, Washington, USC, LSU, Bama. Tanner and I were watching them both on simulcasting in my apartment. We can start with Washington, USC. We talked about it in the preview. USC's defense is so bad. They just fired their defense coordinator. They've given up more points in the past 6 games than Iowa's given up in the past 2 years. It's
incredible.
It's
just incredible stats.
It's crazy. It might not be 6 games. It might be 8 games. Regardless, 2 full years for Iowa. Anyway, Washington 52, USC 42. Most impressive thing for me, first of all, Caleb Williams was still outstanding. Hopefully doesn't get too much blame for these losses. He's still clearing away the top prospect. But Washington running back, the Johnson kid, 256, 4 touchdowns.
Went off.
Incredible, yeah.
And we were talking about it when we were talking about the Oregon game. Washington's not a really run-heavy team. Penix wasn't lighting the world on fire out there. Tanner, what'd you think?
Yeah, Michael Penix, man, I'm impressed again. Obviously, as you mentioned, the running back went off, but Washington's as a team, man, they're finding ways to win no matter who they play, and it doesn't matter how they do it, whether their offense is bad, their defense is playing well. If their defense is bad, their offense is playing well. They're finding ways to win games. They're undefeated. They have a gauntlet of a schedule still. I mean, I just hope we get Washington, Oregon. I mean, the 2 Heisman front runners.
Cinema.
Penix, Nix, Washington, Oregon, winner of the playoff, winner wins the Pac-12. I want to see that. I'm pulling for Washington down the stretch here. I don't know about you guys, but that was kind of my take. I just think Washington is such a fun team to watch, and I need to keep watching.
It was fun because they incorporated that run game. It was a different show that we got from normal, Washington football. But it just goes to USC. Like USC last year, they were so dominant because they were putting up 70, 60 points like against good teams in the Pac-12, and they're just not. Their offense isn't that caliber. Again, it's still very good, and Caleb Williams is still a dog, but. Yeah, we'll see. Washington's got some huge question marks and huge tasks up ahead if they even want to get into that Pac-12 championship game because they've got some tests and they've looked a little shaky at times, but if they can incorporate this run game into their everyday, every game, every week scenario, then you know what, they might be able to run away with this thing. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know they play Utah this weekend, so Penix is gonna have to play better than he did in this game. I want to quickly talk about LSU and Bama. Jalen Milroe as a runner was just so impressive. 155, 4 touchdowns as a runner, a quarterback.
Yeah.
Really impressive. And Jaden Daniels, I wrote concussion sad face emoji because he got knocked out cold.
Yeah.
They came out today and they said, and it's brutal. Personally, they play Florida this week. You can take this week off. You're going to the league, man. Get rest up. But everything kind of changed when he went out. It was tied at halftime. It was really back and forth, and then he threw a pick, and then he got knocked out cold, and it completely changed the whole dynamic of the game. But Bama, man, here they are.
Yeah, well, I think I knew if Bama was going to win this game, Milroe was going to have to take over. The reason I thought they could take over the game is because of how bad LSU's secondary is, and Milroe is one of the best quarterbacks in terms of deep threats, right? And I thought LSU's corners were going to get exposed by the speed and the talent on the side of Alabama, and I was wrong because Milroe took over the game in a completely different way. We knew his ability to run the ball, but man, 4 tuds is incredible.
Crazy.
I'm very upset because I thought, what's his name, Jaden McDaniels, I thought.
That's the 76ers guy. I did that. Jaden Daniels. But he ran for 160 yards.
And he had a good game, right? Maybe if he doesn't get knocked out.
Quarterback running.
Correct.
I don't know if that would have necessarily changed.
I agree. I think
Bama was pretty much in control.
Bama's another team that is really finding themselves.
And their offensive line has made just drastic strides. They were pitiful in the first.
I want to call him McDaniels every time.
I know.
Maybe we just change his name.
Or maybe he's on the whatever. He's not in the 76ers. He's on the Timberwolves.
Yeah. But yeah, Bama looks very impressive. So
I never would have thought in this college football season that Bama through 9 games would be 8-1, and as in the near future, there's really not a path for them into the top 5, like as in the next week or two. Like they are just kind of stuck at like 8, 9.
It's all going
and they're
to
8-1.
It's all going to come down to the SC Championship. If they win out, they're in.
Championship
But
week.
I mean, they have they play Kentucky, then a cupcake, and then Auburn. So
Yeah.
Again, going to the conference championship week, they're going to be.
That's their season.
I mean, we'll see what happens with Michigan, Ohio State, because of how far they're dropped. But yeah, they're going to be in that 8 spot unless Texas slips up, which they almost did. But I want to talk about Georgia, Missouri. I really enjoyed watching this game, and especially Missouri in the trenches. Like they really matched Georgia's physicality. And that really impressed me. I mean, Missouri did for 151 yards. They outrushed Georgia.
Yeah,
it was really impressive to watch it. But Georgia
got some big dudes on that team. Like I didn't realize Mizzou recruited like that, but man, was
they're really starting to. And they got the number 1 D tackle coming in again. The Drinkwater dude over there. I mean, like Florida plays them in 2 weeks. For some reason, it's on primetime. I don't know why anyone would want to watch Florida.
Because they want to watch Mizzou.
Yeah, honestly. But here's the story right here. Cook for Missouri, 2 interceptions. Carson Beck, 254, 2 touchdowns. Carson Beck is the most underrated quarterback in all college football. I think he's not being talked about nearly enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he stepped in with impossibly big shoes to fill for 2 years, and he stepped in stride. He started off slow, but someone who really hasn't played football in 2-3 years is expected. And God, the past 5 games, just been dominant.
Yeah. Well, and when you lose Brock Bauer, you're like, what's going to happen? I mean, that was a question mark.
First of all, their backup tight end
is just as good, right? Like it's incredible. But Georgia has this cycle now, like the new Bama, right? And that's not to discredit Bama, because Bama's still Bama, right? But Georgia's just taking over at a different level. Very impressive. But Georgia, you look at the past couple of years when they won the national championship, it's not like they had the best quarterback, right? They had a guy who could throw a ball very accurately, find his impressive receivers on the outside, and that's what Georgia does well. So super impressed with Georgia.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Missouri as well. I'll get into Georgia later, but I think Missouri, like I had them in my top 10. Like it was hard to take them out because they played so well.
Yeah, they get Tennessee.
Tennessee,
they go to Tennessee.
No, they get them at home.
Host.
They play Tennessee at
They
home.
host a lot of really big games. LSU, Tennessee, Florida. But yeah, do you guys want to get in the top 10?
Let's do it.
I'll go first. 10 out of Penn State. Huge game this weekend. It's put up or shut up. If Penn State wins this weekend, man, pure chaos in all of college football, not just the Big Ten. 9 out of Ole Miss. They lost to Bama, and that's it. A&M is really good, and Ole Miss, they looked really strong early and were able to pull out of that game. Really impressed with them. 8 out of Bama. We talked about them. Don't really need to expand on them. Tanner's right. What's their path to move forward? They don't have a path. They just got to win out and they're in. Win out and they're in.
Yeah, I went a different route. There's a new team in my top 10, and it's Louisville. I just pretty impressed with their defense. I don't think they're that great offensively. I think their defense is much better. I think they're actually very well coached over there in Louisville, believe it or not, Tanner. So I just think they had a very impressive win against Duke to shut Duke, who was a team that
even though Riley didn't play.
Yeah, correct. You hold them to 0 points, though. It's impressive.
When they played
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but I said Duke.
And then last week, yeah. So I Louisville at 10. I have Penn State at 9 and Bama at 8. Again, like you said, Bama, I want to put them higher, but they can't. You can't. So, yeah.
At 10, I got Penn State. I got to say, it is not my in shambles this week, but it almost was. What is the Big Ten doing putting Penn State, Michigan at noon? Like, you're taking away a whiteout game for Penn State.
It's Fox. Fox completely controls the Big Ten.
I mean, I get it's Fox, but like
Michigan's happy.
Michigan is very happy.
It's completely it's all on Fox. Fox owns the rights to the Big Ten.
That should be a whiteout
game. Yeah, and it's not. In the Ohio State Michigan game, it's going to be at noon.
It
always is.
Yeah. I can't believe
11 Central Time.
I can't believe Penn State doesn't get a whiteout game here. Yeah. But anyways, 9 Ole Miss. They get Georgia this week. 8 Bama. Moving down to 7, I got Texas. Big scare.
Huge scare
from Kansas State. I mean, Kansas State.
The scary thing is they were in control.
Yeah.
And they let it.
Well, did you watch the game at all? Kansas State missed like a 25-yard field goal with like 2 minutes left. Yeah. I mean, that was that they got lucky.
Yeah.
At 6, I have Oregon. The Ducks, man. Bo Nix. I mean, I love Michael Penix, but Bo Nix might be the Heisman.
Bo Nix is that for me. He is. And not just because I picked him preseason.
And then at 5, just because they beat Oregon, I got Washington right now at 5.
Okay. I went different. this isn't because I'm ever going to be on a committee to pick the AP top 25 or on the college selection board, but this is me picking the top 10 teams who've played the best football. So 7 I have Texas, again scary. 6 I have Washington. They moved down. Again, Oregon's in front of them.
It's just really the past 3 weeks, man. They've been really sluggish.
They've been sluggish, and Oregon's looked dominant. So that's why Washington's at 6. And believe it or not, I actually have Florida State at 5. They fall out of my top 4. Again, they look like a team who can't put 4 quarters together.
Granted, they didn't have their 2 top.
And I don't care. I don't care. I don't care because college football is a short season, right? So you gotta sharpen all your tools at the same time. And Florida State hasn't been able to do that, so they slide in at 5.
At 6, I have Oregon. I wouldn't necessarily say dominant. I know they struggled early against Cal. I think who they played, but they pulled away. I think they scored 63 points. 6, I have Washington. Talked about enough. 4, Florida State. Scary at first. My mom was texting me like, "What's going on? Are you watching Florida State?" But not having Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman take some adjusting. And Pitt, it was a gross day in Pitt. Just in Florida, we're not used to those 52 degrees, rainy days. But hey, they pulled it out. It was impressive. It was impressive. Later on, 3, I have Ohio State. They're going to cruise until they play Michigan. Even though, again, Rutgers was freaking giving it to Ohio State. Not a good look. Rutgers is
9-0 against the spread this year.
Yeah, shout out Greg Schiano. 2, I have Michigan dominant as usual. And 1, I have Georgia. Until someone beats Georgia, they've won 26 straight games now. Just complete domination from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so 4, I have the Ducks. They slide into my top 4. They have the best quarterback in the country. One of the best defenses that I've seen, especially in the Pac-12. And I love Oregon. So Oregon slides in at 4, Ohio State slides in at 3. Again, scary, but Rutgers is a team that's not too bad. So they're a good Big Ten team who I could see have a good future moving in the Big Ten future, the expansion and everything. Georgia at 2, and Michigan remains at number 1.
I got Florida State at 4. I'm not going to penalize the Seminoles. They haven't lost. They have a good win against LSU. Just not going to drop Florida State as long as they keep winning. 3, I got Ohio State. At 2, I got Michigan, and 1, I got Georgia. Just more impressed with Georgia's win than Michigan's win this week. Quick side note, my Arizona Wildcats are now in the top 25
Big
in
win.
the AP poll. They are now 6-3.
Good.
Yeah.
Just wanted to shout them out.
No, yeah, no doubt, yeah.
So proud. Huge week this week. Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Missouri.
And I also know that Oregon is not going to slide into these top 4. Yeah. It's just there's a path for them.
It's your rankings.
There's a path for them. And that's what I'm excited. I tell you what, this is going to be a great 3-4 weeks of college football upcoming, and I'm super excited for it.
We are very excited to announce our first ever sponsor on the podcast.
We are now happily sponsored by Burrito Korea. We've been here for 2 years. One of my favorite spots. I know these guys enjoy it. You can get burritos there. I love their chicken. Get a suizo with a little cheese on top. Quesadillas. Great place to eat.
Yeah, so head over to the Naperville and Lyle locations for 10% off. Use Backyard Banter at the register and enjoy Burrito Korea.
Yes, sir. Go support us. We're going to move right on into NFL. I don't want to say, first of all, there's some crazy games that happen. And I hope someone put Joshua Dobbs in the legendary. What he did is probably one of the most impressive things I've seen in all sports. But first, I have a question for you guys. I saw kind of this segment on a different one of our podcasts. It's called Buy or BS. It's kind of like Tanner said, it's like buy or sell. Do you guys buy or BS that the Ravens are the best team in the AFC?
They're the best team in football.
I don't know.
I buy it too.
They're the best team in football.
They are my best team in football. You didn't let me get to my top 5 to talk about the Ravens, Johnny. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I said it last week. I said it on here. They're the best team in football, and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
They're so great.
What they've done to blow out
Lamar Jackson not account for a touchdown.
Yeah.
They won 37-3
But
against the leaders in the NFC West.
You blow up the Seahawks, very good team.
Yeah.
You blow up the Lions, very good team. It is so impressive what the Ravens are able to do. And like you said, Lamar Jackson didn't exactly go out there and just oop.
Ever heard of the running back with the last name Mitchell?
No.
Just appears out of nowhere.
And just has a great game.
It's just
the Ravens are the best team in football.
Man. They're so good.
They are so good
very,
because
very good.
Also, not only do they have a great offense, their defense is so disgusting.
it's the best in the league. And they were averaging 13 point something. That went down.
Yeah.
Gave up 3 points.
Yeah.
And then now they got those tough divisional games on the road at first. Now they get them all at home. They get Cleveland at home coming up.
You know what? I'm so in for a Baltimore Super Bowl.
Love it.
I'm so in
Love
for
it.
it.
I remember when I was a kid, the Joe Flacco Super Bowl, Ray Lewis last game, but I just.
I'm in. I'm buying it.
I was thinking about this today. I need to see a Ravens versus Bengals AFC Championship game. That would be
how gritty would
that's
that
a rivalry,
So
in-division
sick.
rivalry, two good quarterbacks.
Games in Baltimore probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be
We'll see.
so
Bengals
sick.
turn it
Who
up.
knows?
Like I
Who
told you
knows? Who
guys.
knows?
But speaking of the team that could derail that, the Chiefs in Germany pick up a big win. It's just kind of a boring game.
Yeah.
The first the Chiefs jumped out quick, 14-0. Dolphins crawled back, but the Dolphins have yet to beat a team with a winning record this year. I mean, what are you making of? They battled. They're right there at the end.
Yeah, their offense is good enough to keep them in games, and I think.
But their defense kept them in the game this time. Which was surprising to see.
But that's also my other point, and it's in regards to the Chiefs. The Chiefs defensively are also so good. Like they are, in my opinion, a top 3 defense in the NFL. They are so good, but the offense this year isn't clicking like normal from what I've seen. I watched that entire game. Right, I woke up with a time change.
Yeah.
I got an extra hour of sleep, but I was waking up at 8:30 and I felt fine. And I watched this entire football game. And Patrick Mahomes, although he's still the best quarterback in the NFL, hasn't looked as dominant in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
If you're a fantasy owner of Patrick Mahomes, you're upset, right?
And it's weird to say they missed Tyreek Hill because they won a Super Bowl without him last year, but it just feels like something's missing.
Yeah,
They have Travis Kelce who like disappeared. I guess he got hurt, but they don't have a go-to receiver.
No, they don't.
On the outside.
And they thought it was going to be Sky Moore, right? They thought Sky Moore was going to be that guy going into the season, and he hasn't turned.
Their go-to receivers, honestly, the rookie Rasheed Rice.
Yeah, and who's had a great season.
Good season for
and
him.
Pacheco's still very good. Mahomes is very good.
McKinnon.
Kelsey's very good. Like there's still dudes on this team, but like you said, they do miss Tyreek Hill, and I love that episode. I think they were talking about, it wasn't an episode maybe. Tyreek Hill was talking about being traded to Miami, and that was an incredible sequence or show. So if you've never seen it, check it out because it was talking about like the offers coming in, and he got more money to go to the Jets.
Yeah,
but then he was like
tax.
But then he was like taxes.
Florida's
And
where it's
Miami's where I want to be, and so very impressed with the Chiefs defensively. Their offense is going to click. They have the best quarterback in the NFL, but we'll see.
One of my biggest notes I have written down is Patrick Mahomes is not playing well. It's not really getting talked about enough, and the Chiefs' defense is kind of carrying them right now. I have some numbers here for you. So Patrick Mahomes in 9 games has thrown 17 touchdowns. That's a little less than 2 per game. That's not like Patrick Mahomes. No. He's thrown 8 picks. That's a little under
picks.
1 pick per game. His quarterback rating is at 96. Now, I know you guys will get mad at me for bringing up this name, but if we were to put these numbers from one player into 9 games, same amount of games Mahomes played, Justin Fields would have 22 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, so 5 more touchdowns, 3 more picks, and a quarterback rating of 93.
And what?
Less. Just statistically, if you were to,
this
Fields
season.
has played in 5 in this season, has played in 5 games. You're gonna move it to 9. Those would be his numbers, and that it's not me saying Fields is good. It's me saying Patrick Mahomes is not playing on that elite level.
I agree, and I'm not gonna like discredit your take. I just think it's funny every time we talk about Justin Fields, we have to add the hypothetical if he played the 9 games, right? Like he hasn't played 9 games.
Because he's hurt.
And Justin Fields is bound to throw for 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in one of those games.
I just don't want to talk about Justin Fields.
I mean, it's just crazy how
it's gonna happen.
Well, no, it's just everybody talks about how bad Justin Fields is, but if you were to compare the games, like similar numbers,
hey, I understand,
and nobody's talking about Patrick Mahomes.
And that point is just to show that Patrick Mahomes is not playing Patrick Mahomes football. So
yes, that is a great point.
I also have a note. The Dolphins.
You're so mad when we talk about Justin.
Oh,
Fields.
I thought that was actually a great point.
But I'm with you, Justin Fields.
Mahomes is not playing up to the elite level we're used to. Actually, very much like that.
I also have another note. The Dolphins cannot beat winning teams.
Yeah.
They haven't beat a winning team in like over a year.
We'll see. They'll do it eventually. They're too talented.
That defense just need to figure it out.
Well, the defense did figure it out. This was on the offense. They created timely turnovers.
But the first half, they couldn't stop.
Yeah, but they made the adjustments, locked in the second half, and gave the offense opportunity to win, which is all you can ask for with the Dolphins. I thought the best game of the weekend was Cowboys-Eagles. That was awesome. Just the atmosphere. Kevin Burkhardt. I don't think there's a better analyst in all of the NFL than Greg Olson right now. He's money.
He is good.
He is money, man.
Turned into my favorite crew.
Yeah, hearing them is. I'm trying to replace Joe Buck and Troy Aikman is hard, and they've
good. Done it in football. Fox has not quite baseball.
But just an epic game, man. Everyone, I keep seeing on Instagram. I know it's Cowboys the biggest brand of football, and when they lose, it's a big deal. Everyone's like, Dak's not an elite quarterback, and maybe he's not, but 374, 3 touchdowns, and that type of
Dak's
environment.
playing well.
He looked
Just-
just fine. And granted, that one touchdown that was ruled short.
His big toe was
Yeah.
on the line, and without that, they're kicking a field goal right there.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, like Dak is, I'm not necessarily a Dak fan.
Yeah.
Like, I thought if anyone, like when they pinned a big contract a few years ago, I thought he was very much kind of like assistant quarterback. Anyone can go get him, but he's a winner. And no, he's not a top 5 quarterback. Everyone wants him to go be like Aikman, who when they won all the Super Bowls, but he's a top 8 to 10 quarterback, and
He's quietly playing really
he's just
well.
fine.
He's playing
well,
well.
I'll make it more loud.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is playing very good football
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
and the Cowboys and Eagles are 2 of the 3 best teams in the NFC. It's fact. Jalen Hurts just did what they did. And they start every single possession 1st and 9. It is incredible that anytime it is 4th and 1, 1
I
and a
think
half.
Greg Olsen said 1st and 8.
Yeah,
It
it's incredible. Hurts 207, 3 total touchdowns. Just an awesome game, and reminded me just of those, I don't know, winter nights.
What I love about the NFL and slates like this and games like this is when you have 2 offenses who have like star power on both sides of the ball. Micah Parsons is still unreal. I mean,
they have. He gets held on every play.
every play because
Every
you have
play,
to. You
man.
have to, right? But CeeDee Lamb looks
He's
incredible.
money.
He looks
The past
incredible.
3 games.
He doesn't drop balls.
Yeah, AJ
Brown
Brown
looked great.
Oh, sorry, he didn't have 125 yards for the first time in 6 games.
Which
He already has 1,000.
they
yards
put
on
that
the
stat on the TV, and Tanner and I looked at each other. and We were like, "Yeah, that's
pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's not bad.
Pretty good.
So it's just incredible what the Eagles have done, and like you said, every team can have the play in their the quarterback friendly push. They can have that in their playbook. But nobody runs it as well as Philly does. They get 4 yards every time.
I want the
5 yards.
NFL to outlaw it, but if every team could do it, they would, and not every team does. So you're just going to penalize one team because they do something very successfully.
Yeah.
It's like saying Patrick Mahomes can't scramble out of the pocket.
Yeah.
Or
if there's like a kicker one day who can kick a 75-yard field goal.
You're just going to outlaw.
Oh, you're just going to ban him.
Yeah,
You can't
I agree.
pass the 50.
Until every single person can do this, every single team.
Because what are they doing that's illegal?
Nothing.
They're not dragging
Absolutely
Jalen.
nothing.
They're
They're
pushing
pushing
him,
him.
right?
Which-
And it's like the same thing because you
Matt
can't
Leinart got
ban
in
it.
trouble for it. And
You can't ban it.
push. You should know all about that.
Don't talk to me about it. So
But-
yeah, you can't ban it. But the Eagles look incredible. Dallas is a very good football team, and they hung in there a lot better than we thought.
Before we get in the top 5, should we each talk about our teams for 60 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, I can sum it up pretty quick.
The timer is started.
Say 60 seconds for all of us. Go.
All right. So for the Bears, I just have 3 things written down. Do you miss Justin Fields yet? I do. Getsy, you suck, and fire flu still. Tyson Bagent and Luke Getsy lost us that game, I would say. Poor play calling, Tyson Bagent, 5 turnovers.
That's a lot of
And I thought the Bears played well.
4
turnovers. I thought the Bears played relatively well. I thought Tyson Bagent, his turnovers, and I thought Luke Getsy's play calling lost us that ball.
I still don't
Perfect,
miss
right on
Justin
time.
Fields.
Yeah, Tyson Badger's not the answer. I know you were messing around saying he's the second coming, but
Yes.
Justin Fields is better. But how many does Justin Fields win that game? I mean, you hope he does, but has he?
I think so.
Lord willing.
We'll see. The Bucks have maybe the second behind Matt Eberflus, worst head coach in the NFL. I told James that Todd Bowles, I said it in the preseason that he's a very good coordinator and not a good head coach, and now he's not even a good coordinator. It's completely unacceptable what happened with the Bucks. You let a rookie break the rookie passing yard and throw for 470 yards and 5 touchdowns. Just march down the field with 40 seconds left. It was an embarrassing loss by the Bucks, and I'll tell you what, man, Baker Mayfield is playing very good football, and everything is stacked against him. No running game, defense can't stop a wet paper bag.
White played pretty well.
Yeah, and Rashad White finally played well. I mean, the Bucks just have so many weapons, and this talented team's going to waste. If they weren't in the NFC South, like they could beat Tennessee next week and be right back in it. But these are games where you have to win, and just Todd Bowles, man, it's bad, and the time management and all 3 losses have been bad.
Cut.
Good.
Your 60 seconds was up. I was about to cut you off.
Yeah, I
so.
saw you look at you.
No, yeah, but I think we got to talk about Bengals Bills
Yeah.
because it wasn't the game that I expected.
I said it last week. I think it's going to be low scoring.
It
The Bengals
was
were
crazy.
low
It wasn't
scoring,
like
but
that
it
low
wasn't-
scoring,
it
but
turned
it
into a
wasn't.
defensive battle.
It was, especially in the fourth quarter. I don't know. What do you take of the game?
I thought I watched a lot of this game. I thought it was just Joe Burrow is just back. The way he can extend plays when he's healthy, he's really impressive. And was the ceiling of the Josh Allen, Sean McDermott era, the fail in Kansas City,
Yes.
was that the ceiling of it?
100%.
Because Sean McDermott didn't become a worse coach, right? I mean, maybe
I don't
he
think
did,
so.
but I mean,
I don't
his
think
defense
so.
only gave up 24 points to Joe Burrow. Josh Allen threw those two picks. Just Josh Allen. I mean, shout out Jackson. Josh Allen isn't incredible. He's not a top 3 guy right now.
No.
But is he better than?
Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
Yes.
But Josh Allen has regressed, and
I agree.
it's rough to watch. And I hope he can turn around. He needs to lock in, but
Because they're too talented.
Way
I
too
mean,
talented.
I mean, Diggs is too good. I mean, Gabe Davis
he was a nothing.
was
by the way, in
nothing.
that game.
Was
By the way,
nothing.
you just want to talk about talent, man. The 3 receivers for the Bengals.
Yeah.
T. Higgins is a bona fide number 1.
Well,
And
that's
they
the
got-
thing, but they've had that core
For a while.
for a couple
Yeah.
years now, and we were like, all right, it's Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, they're going to work together.
They're getting better.
They did. They
And
did last week.
They have like nobody at tight end, but they just because their receivers are
Hey,
so
Drew
good.
Sample.
Their tight ends are
Didn't even
always
know that.
open.
Yeah, went to Washington.
Their tight ends are always open because
Yeah.
their receivers
Yeah.
are so good.
It was an incredible football game.
Impressed with the Bengals.
What?
So.
Wait, what Joe Burrow's done? He took a team that was the worst franchise in football, and in year 2 took him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Once in a generation type.
Joe
type
Shiesty's
prospect.
incredible.
He's
So.
incredible. Teaster, give us your top 5.
So top 5 this week, I was heavily debating my 5 spot. It was between the Cowboys or Jags. Really wanted to keep the Cowboys at 5 this week. I decided to drop them out there. My number 6. I have the Jags at 5. They were off this week, but I think the Jags are an elite team. 4, I got the Bengals. I could care less about their win-loss. They're a top 5 team in the NFL right now. 3, I got the Chiefs. 2 Eagles, 1 Ravens. Do you guys have any problems with that top 5?
I know.
Okay.
I personally, I still, how great would a Ravens Eagles Super Bowl
Oh,
be?
So incredible.
So gritty.
So
Two
incredible.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
similar styles. I mean, I guess
Two
Eagles,
birds.
I guess
And
Eagles
I
throw
love
a
when the
better
mascots
job,
go
James.
against each other.
It is 2 birds.
Is it? Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Anyway, let's do our.
Hey, I
would you
like the
rather.
little things in life, man.
Yeah.
Little things.
Let's
are
see
just
would you
fun.
rather. James, you go first.
My would you rather, right? We talked about the game earlier. We started talking about it a little bit. Would you rather have Michigan or Penn State win?
Interesting. What would I rather have personally?
Because I tell
All-
you what,
all the
it's
drama-
gonna shake up some things.
All the drama going on with Michigan right now, just for the sheer chaos, I would say Penn State, because imagine if Michigan beats Ohio State and then how that would all turn out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They
I'll
each have
say
1 loss.
I'll say Penn State. Have some fun with it.
No doubt about it, I'd pick Penn State. Like, I would love to see Penn State win this game. I think it would be hilarious. I think you could have a potential 3-11-1 teams in the Big Ten East: Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. I think Penn State has come close to a playoff. They deserve it if they win this game. They're gonna make the playoff because they're gonna win out.
We'll see
So-
what Drew Aller can do.
There we go.
I'll go next. Would you rather have Caleb Williams go to the Giants or the field? So the field is any other team. So, if, for example, Raiders, Bears, Cardinals, anyone up there?
Here's the thing: am I answering this as a Giants fan, or just like in general?
No, in general.
I'm not bought in the fact that the Giants are done with Daniel Jones.
You should be.
I don't
would
know.
be. I would be.
If I'm an organization, if I'm an owner, and I sign a quarterback to one of the biggest deals of this season, I understand he just tore his ACL. It's terrible news. I feel bad for Daniel Jones, but he still sucks. I don't know, because you paid him so much money that I don't know if I would waste.
If you're the Giants owner, you go up there and you say, "We missed on that one. We missed. We
We're gonna
apologize."
eat the
And now we're going to bring
$120
in.
million.
Now we're going to bring in the best quarterback prospect in the last 10 years.
I think he goes to the field. I don't think he goes to the Giants. I think,
That's valid. The
I think
numbers
so.
would be with you there.
but you know what I mean. Like, I think even if the Giants get the number 1 pick, I think they trade it.
That's valid.
That's my take.
I would rather see him on the Giants.
I would love to see him on the Giants.
For 2 reasons, really. I think Caleb Williams going to that division would be sick.
Yeah.
You already got the Cowboys and Dak. You got Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. That's just another really good quarterback in that division. And then the other reasoning is, as a Bears fan, I don't want to reset at quarterback, and I don't want the Bears to get Caleb Williams. That's all it is.
I don't understand. You know what? No.
The
How do you not want to reset a quarterback?
We do it all the time.
He's won 5 football games, Tanner.
Because the Bears are closer to winning
Fine.
with Justin
The-
Fields and Caleb Williams.
That's fine.
the NFC needs an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
The AFC needs all of them, so the Giants need it. Tana, what's yours?
My would you rather. So Bama and LSU played this week. I've always wanted to go see this game in person. So if you were to see Bama LSU, would you rather watch in person, ticket to the game, in Death Valley or Tuscaloosa?
Tuscaloosa.
Death Valley.
Tuscaloosa.
Death Valley.
I just want to sing. I just want to sing.
Death Valley.
Dixieland Delight.
Trust
I just want to sing it. I don't want to sing. I want to shake my thing when they, whatever they call it, the
Pom pom.
pom pom. I want to shake my pom pom. Yeah, I want to do that. It's my dream. It's my dream in life to go to Tuscaloosa and watch a night game at Bama.
Fair. You're a big country guy, and the atmosphere at Alabama is incredible. But my dad has been to a night game. He was there when in '09 when Tebow was #1 at LSU, was top 5, and there's no atmosphere like a night game in Death Valley. I remember I used to like fear it as a kid, as watching the Gators play a night game. There's almost like no chance that you're gonna win.
Yeah.
It's that intimidating. And if you want to talk about the South, there is no more tailgate scene prominent South than LSU on a night game.
Yeah.
And so yeah, feed me.
I mean,
Death
I'm gonna have to
Valley
agree with
and
John.
Take me to both.
Yeah,
I want to go.
I'm gonna have to agree. Hey, here's an idea. Just everybody subscribe and Backyard Banter's making it.
Yeah.
And go.
And we'll vlog it.
Yeah.
We'll
And then you guys could be there.
Yeah, we'll
Hey,
vlog it.
with the announcement you probably already heard in this video, we're on the way.
Yeah.
We're on the come up.
On the come up.
But yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, good
I'd
question,
like
guys.
both of them.
Good job. So yeah, you guys talk about the Cubs for 5 minutes.
No, I mean, there's no reason to talk about the Cubs besides, I mean, Craig Counsell's a great add-on.
Came out of nowhere, by the way.
Out of
nowhere.
we never heard a rumor.
No, we knew he was available.
I
but-
was shocked.
Well, and what's also super funny about it is on my phone, I get a tweet from Cubs Zone, which gives all the the fast notifications. They're like, Cubs hired Craig Counsell, and I was like, did we fire our GM? And because I know he's looking for a GM position possibly, but I didn't see us firing David Ross. I didn't see us firing Carter. What's his name? Our GM.
Carter Hawkins.
Carter Hawkins. But anyway, I didn't see anything. So when I saw that we hired Craig Counsell, I was super confused. And then a couple hours later, they were like, "We're relieving David Ross of his duties." But if you're David,
after they came out and said that he's going to be our
if
guy.
you're David Ross, what are you thinking? How pissed are you?
I mean, yeah, I feel bad for David Ross. Because he is. This is such a tough day for him because he is a Cub for life. He's a Cubs legend. He won He brought a World Series back as a player. Hit a home run in that Game 7. Was a
He
manager.
got a concussion. So sick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. David Ross, man, Cub for life sucks. However, I was very critical of David Ross all year. I'm sure you can. Many times I was mad about. You can go check my Twitter. I wanted him fired in June. David Ross. There was about 15 games this year. I thought that maybe not his sole fault we lost, but he could have made better decisions. David Ross is an average at best manager. Craig Counsell is at worst a top 5 manager. The Cubs got a lot better
Well,
today.
and I told Johnny, I said I wouldn't be surprised, and now I don't think they will do it because they've relieved him. If I'm the Cubs, I would have found a way to keep David Ross in the organization.
For sure.
I don't know how that would be. I don't know if he'd be interested in that and what kind of role. I don't see him being a manager. I just don't see it. He didn't have great success in Chicago, so it's interesting. But the reason he talked about the Cubs is because free agency has begun, officially begun. So big names are on the market.
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani, possibly Soto. There's just some big names out there that hopefully the Cubs can dabble in. Maybe even the Rays. So
I mean, this move today tells me the Cubs are going to spend a lot of money. It tells me the Cubs are going to be above the luxury tax.
Hopefully.
I think Josh Hader is going to be a Cub. I mean, he played for Craig Counsell. It makes sense.
It'd be sick.
Sounds like Justin Turner, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, a lot of questions, but it's exciting news. Even though baseball's over, it's if you're a baseball fan, you still live for these moments, and you get ready for April and March and all that fun stuff. So, but let's do our legendary and in shambles.
James, you go first.
I'll
You never
start.
go first.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate
welcome.
it. My legendary. I'm gonna go with Josh Dobbs because
Incredible.
what he did.
Never shaken a snap, by the way.
Never took a snap from the center.
Never a rep with the first
Never a
team.
rep with any of the guys. Is incredible, right? He didn't know the plate. He knew the game plan. He didn't know the offense.
Yeah.
Right? And he apparently, according to him, he went. What's their head coach's name?
O'Connell.
He went to O'Connell and was like, "Hey, I know these plays, and I'm comfortable with running these plays. If you need it." And sure enough, he just took the game over, right? And there's the funniest video on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it. Is that guy with a Vikings jersey on, and he walks up with his razor and shaves off his eyebrows.
Yeah.
And it's just because everyone on the Vikings they're like Josh Dobbs came to save because you know why? The Vikings got a chance now to win the division.
I think the Vikings are going to.
They can win the division. You know what? Justin Jefferson's still hurt.
Love Josh Dobbs.
Oh, I know. And I saw him in Nashville
How can
in
you not be
September, which
romantic
was
about
so
Josh
sick.
Dobbs?
Yeah, poor guy. He's been on 6 teams in the calendar year. 6 NFL teams in the calendar
And now he
year.
has a chance to win it.
And he was winning in Arizona. He just won in Minnesota.
He was not
One.
one.
He won
in Arizona.
One. Yeah, but you know what? He was still an impressive
So he
player.
kept them watching.
Yeah, exactly. I would
How did
never
they do
thought-
without him?
He-
Scored 0 points.
0 points.
3 points. That's how
Yeah.
they did.
So that's my
Tanner, what's
legendary.
yours?
My legendary moment. I'm going with Oklahoma State. They
The last
win.
Bedlam.
They win the final Bedlam game.
awesome.
This is a team I had at 10-2 for the season. They are currently 7-2. 7-2. They are second in the Big 12. They control their own destiny to make the Big 12 championship game. Not only are they up a game, they're technically up 2 because they have the tiebreak over Kansas, Kansas State, and Oklahoma. Their last 3 remaining games are UCF, Houston, and BYU. Oklahoma State is going to be playing in the Big 12 championship.
Pretty incredible. Yep.
My legendary is Arizona. Tanner talks about him. Jed Fish, the head coach. 5-7 last year, already 6-3. Just an incredible turnaround in a program that was a laughingstock for a really long time. And then shambles, I'm in shambles. The Gators lost on last second play in overtime when they should have
Tough
won.
finish.
I don't even want to talk about it. The Bucks, already talked about them, incredibly disappointed. The Rays lost their GM to the Marlins. Not really much of an upgrade, but whatever. And then the Lightning just blew a 4-1 lead and lost in overtime to the Maple Leafs. So I completely sold my soul for the Bucks Super Bowl and the Lightning 2 Stanley Cups and the Rays pennant. And now I'll forever go back to sports misery.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to
Do
hear
you
it.
know what fan I am? I am a
really don't.
Chicago sports fan.
And I have it.
We
worse
live
than
in
James.
misery. We live in misery.
In your lifetime, you've seen 3 Stanley Cups and a World Series.
Not when I was like huge into sports.
In your lifetime.
Yeah, I also saw. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
I think I have the worst year, but that's just.
I'm just saying, but in that, in
But Chicago sports fans have it so we're so down.
in a 24-hour span,
Yeah, it was bad.
I saw my 2 favorite teams lose on walk-off touchdowns.
Yeah.
rough.
So that was gonna be my in shambles. It was gonna be the Bucks. It wasn't gonna be you, but it was gonna be the Bucks. So
I
I'm
was distraught.
you talk about your teams. I'll talk about my team. Sam Hartman and Notre Dame are in shambles.
Sam Hartman's-
I said it on the podcast maybe 4 weeks ago that I thought Notre Dame was legit because they had a quarterback. Sure enough, I was wrong. Sam Hartman sucks. It's
you
really.
said you said they go to the national championship.
I did.
and I agreed with you.
I did. But you know what? Sam Hartman sucks. I think Marcus Freeman. Not sure yet.
We'll see.
That man can put a defense out there that can compete against anybody, but the offense.
Not on Saturday.
Not against Caleb Clubman.
Not on Saturday. Sorry.
You got to put up more points in college football.
You do.
Yeah.
It's
You
that
do.
simple.
You do.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
So.
Tanner, what do you got?
Yeah, no, hold on. Sam Hartman sucks. That's just the end of the day.
My in shambles is going to be the Buffalo Bills. I'm also going to incorporate a buyer BS here. So before the season, I had the Bills missing the playoffs. How bold
I
of
had the
me.
Bulls making the Super Bowl.
The Bills.
I think I did too.
The Bills are currently 5-4. I'm going to go through their schedule right quick. Just let me know what you think. They are 5-4. They play the Broncos and Jets next 2 games. They'll probably be 7-4. Their last 6 games at the Eagles, at the Chiefs, home Cowboys, at Chargers, at Dolphins, and then the Patriots in there. You need minimum 10 wins to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're gonna get
Do
10.
you see 5 wins?
Yeah, they're gonna get 10.
Yeah.
So you
because-
think they can go 2-5?
I think what's gonna happen is
Five
what I think
Yeah.
what happened is they're gonna win the next 2, and then they're gonna win the last 3.
Chargers,
It'll-
Dolphins, Patriots.
Chargers,
It'll be
Dolphins,
tough, but
and if not, they might steal one against the Eagles
yeah.
or the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're too talented to not. I
They
feel.
are.
But who knows? We'll really learn a lot. That's it. I really like that question. But
I think they're in trouble.
yeah.
I think they're
Anyway,
in trouble.
if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Big things to come. Maybe a big guest next episode, but more NBA, more college basketball. Basketball is starting to pick back up and get back to the swing of things. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Subscribe if you haven't.
See ya.
Peace.